Hi, Rob the Frugalist here. This is an extended video showing how I approached a non-flushing toilet. The toilet is one of those pneumatic ones, so you push the button, it squeezes air down a tube, activating this, which then causes the flush to happen. Now I've got the whole lot in there because so many videos are just showing you the end solution. It may not be the end solution for you, so I'm going to go through the process, the thinking, and then finally the solution at the end. So if you know exactly that you would need to replace one of these, that's at the end of the video, so skip straight forwards to that. Hope you find this useful, and let us know in the comments how you get on. Obviously, if your toilet doesn't use these, it won't include the fix. It might actually, the principle of cleaning stuff out though, which I show you at the beginning, still stands though, and that may still help you with that problem. Hi, Rob the Frugalist here. Today we're going to look at a problem with flushing. We've had a problem with a toilet leaking before, a different toilet. This one is just not flushing easily unless you get lucky. So if I push the button in here, you can hear it's a weak flush. And we're going to look at why this might be happening and what you can do to try and stop it. I'm not a plumber. I don't want to call out a plumber, they're very expensive. So there are probably some steps you can take. So I'm going to take all these steps with you today. You might have better success than I do with these steps, but it's worth knowing what to do so you can at least try it. Firstly, it's good to know what kind of flusher you've got. And if I just open this one-handed, you have to pull. There we go. On here, you can see this is a tube which uses air compression to go through there, and if I pull this out as well, you can begin to see what's going on. There we go, we've got this mechanism going on. Right, so what will that look like? I'm going to just gently push the button now, and you should probably be able to see what's going on. So I'm pushing it now, you can see it goes down, and this looks filthy, by the way. This looks absolutely filthy. So it's not working. If I do if I flick it really hard, it's still not working. So we want to be able to get it so this actually is nice. Oh, I can see right down there. So this doesn't look too, it looks filthy at the top, not too bad at the bottom. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this with some descaler. I'm going to put some descaler in because I think probably gunk is the issue. In fact, if I go put my hand in here, if I give it a good whack, it will probably work. There we go. So we know it's not too bad, but it's been getting worse for a while. So what we're going to try and do is put a lot of cleaning up there. Make sure these pipes here that you can see are tight on, and we'll see what happens and see if it improves things. Okay, the stuff I'm going to use is Viacal and some descaler. And looking in there, I've had a little look around off camera, but you can see how crusty and nasty that is. So I'm going to give that a good bit of clean. Also, just by pushing this down on the left, you can force it to fill up a bit more. Now what happens is the scum and the scale will actually build up at the level of the water, so you can fill it a bit higher and put the descaler in. The descaler's got a lot more to work with, so we're going to do that. I'm going to put some descaler into this, leave it for about an hour, and also try and clean around here. Now I'm going to put a descaler in last because it's obviously corrosive and you don't want to be burning your hands, so do use gloves in this. If you see me not using gloves, then that's because I've been naughty, so don't do that. But if you do get any on your hands, wash your hands with plenty of water. You do not want to be having any kind of burns. But you also want to have a little look around and see if there's any muck and gunk and stuff. What's that? That looks like muck and gunk and stuff. So I'm going to try and clear all that out, just because it will just interfere with the acid and stop it working as well. Is that really? That's disgusting. I'm going to get rid of that. So the idea is this is attempting to do a good clean of the insides, because that's what's probably causing some of the problems, or certainly can cause the problems. So we're going to try that. Okay, so we've used some Viacal. I've been scrubbing with my brush. If you look there, that looks already a bit cleaner. Not as much as I thought, but looking down there, all that gunk has gone. So I've given it a good clean. There's some looks kind of I've been spraying some descaler over there as well. Actually, there's a bit more in the corner I might go and try and get. And as you can see with the bubbles, the descaler is certainly working, or it's certainly foamy. Does that mean it's working? People would like to think that you would think so. So I'm going to leave that for an hour to do its trick, and then we're going to see how it goes. Okay, we're about an hour later, and what I'm going to do now is try it out. So something I've noticed, I've done some Googling, this is I don't know if it is now, an air bellows or something like that, but if you might need to replace that piece if it continues to be a problem. But if you look at the bottom of it, I don't know if you can see here, it's got little teeth, or rather a little clip that clips around the edge of this. Previously that wasn't around it, so I've put that around it, because I noticed when I was manipulating this up and down, it wasn't just the down that caused the flash, it was how quickly it went up again. So now this is tethered, it might give a better answer. So one thing is to check the pipes on, second thing is to give it a good clean and descale, third thing is to see if that clip works. So now is the moment of truth. So I'm going to put this back on. How do you know it's going to work, Rob? I don't. This is the excitement I get. Quite a minor excitement. Is this the right way around? Yes. No. Maybe it goes. No. Hold on. There we go. Right, we're in. And I could just probably push it from here, so I'll get my hand under it. That didn't work, let me try again. Right. So it just worked, but I pushed stop filming like a muppet. So the good news is wait for it to refill, and if it still works, it will work a second time. That's the whole purpose. So we'll have to wait for it to refill. Okay, attempt 2. First one worked, good firm push. Not perfect. Okay, attempt 2. It's filled and no, it's failed. I need to check. Okay, just looking at this, watch closely what happens. It pops up, it lets go of it. Oops. It's hard to show with one hand. But see that pull up? Now if I manually did that pull up, what would happen? So we have a little bit of a challenge there. Need to stick that down a bit more. So after a quick bit of unscrewing, I took this off the back. You can see these are indeed bellows, and if I push the button here on the underside, watch what happens. So this is sort of failing. I think there's a split in this. We might need a new one of these, which I'll need to figure out how to get hold of. And you can kind of see how it's attaches on, and it doesn't look too bad. I think there is probably a hole somewhere which is not helping us after the clean, possibly made it even worse. Always a risk when doing this, so I'm just going to check the seals in a second and see if there's anything that can be done. Okay, when this focuses, you'll be able to see. Right, so this is obviously the other side of the button. Now, I noticed when this tube here was over it, wasn't pushing that much air out. There was a bit of leakage going on there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, with a scalpel, just trim this, because this looks quite large and fat, and it's not the best cut. So there could be some water leakage, air leakage there. And this was really nicely secured onto there. This is degrading a bit, but actually it still looks pretty good. If I know it's disgusting, if I put my lips around this, there's barely any air leak at all. So that's curious. So I'm going to try a couple of things before going down the replacement route. So basically trim that and then reattach it firmly to see if we can create a better seal to get a better action. So I've just cut that off. So that was a big slightly old bit. I've got plenty of this left, so there's no risk of that being a problem. I'm going to reattach it and try again. So that's back in now. I can get rid of that. This can go back on here. It's hard to do this one-handed, but so I'm going to turn the camera off, but you can just guess I pushed it in. I'm going to reattach and try again. Okay, that's pretty firmly on now, all in. That's moment of truth number 8. I don't know, 2, 3. Let's try. Oh, there's water leaving. There's air leaving. There's air leaving the pocket. Okay, it's a couple of days later, and that first attempt didn't work. So what I did was I sent a picture of the problem to a plumber friend of mine. Thanks again, Nick Brooks. And he told me what needs to be replaced, because I was pretty sure there's a problem with this bit here, not leaking air through. And in the meantime, we've also got this bit here, which is the bellows, which feels a little bit crusty. There's a bit of a leak in it. Not too bad, but we'll see. And what happened was I bought these. So I've never seen this before, and I'm hoping this is in here somewhere. You can't see except the end bit. This does look like the end bit looks like it could be the same thing, which is really good. So one of these and one of these I bought off eBay. Sorry, not eBay, Amazon. About 16 quid as a pair. So that is something to look for. And I'll put in a link to roughly what it looks like at the end of this video if this works. So what I need to do now is take this out and replace that as well. And that's going to be my last attempt. Last attempt before I actually call in the plumber, because I literally don't know what else to do. When I go back to the toilet, if I look at the toilet here, you want to see that the mechanism is in place. Tap it down, it flushes fine. So actually this has to be the solution. That's my thing. So I need to figure out how to remove this off here, and we'll get to it. So I've been told it's a clip. So I'm going to have a go at removing that clip, and I'll talk us through it. If I can put this here, hopefully you can still see. Right, let's get to it right away. So, yeah, it's moving. Oh, I don't want to break it. That would be very, very sad. What? Oh, of course, yes. So, that might... Ha! Oh, look at that. That is one of them. Roughly the same size. Hopefully exactly the same size. Maybe this is a standard size thing. So you can see that. I'm going to pull this out now. He says confidently. Right, I'll put that on properly. What could go wrong? Everything could go wrong. Oh, there we are. So that was on firmly. Nothing wrong with me putting it on in the first place. Okay. Let's see if I can get a problem. Doesn't seem like it's broken, to be fair. Oh wait, yes. Yes. I don't know if you can see. There we go, we got a split in this. So these things obviously wear away from time to time. This is over 15 years old, easily, probably 20, so not surprised. So let's put the new one on. Bit of twisting. And it goes in here. Not done this before, so literally anything could happen. Which way around was it? This way. That button feels nice to push. Okay, I'm feeling confident. Right, this next. I'm so tempted not to change this, but I've bought it as a pair, so may as well do it at the same time. That's the goal. So, thinking, yeah. Sorry about the noise. Away. There we go. This is robustly built. There's a small leak in it, but not much. This probably wasn't the problem, but this will future-proof it. Big fan of future-proofing. Oh yeah, clips. And puts the on. Hopefully you can see this all right in the camera. And this sheet goes over it. That went in way too easily. Oh, wow. You can really feel the pressure difference just by pushing it on. So I don't want to break it. Or maybe that's enough. Where do you stop? That's the question. And there goes the front door. I will be back shortly. Looks like I should probably allow some air into the system before making it. So I'm going to pause and deal with that, and I'll be back probably a bit later, but it won't show it obviously on the YouTube vid. I'm just taking this off, and this is loosened up a bit. So you can see, so now it's in a relaxed position. I can put it back on, and we're going to try and fix it straight in. Alright, hopefully it should just almost go perfectly straight in. Let's have a little look. Right. Right, there's two screws holding this up, one which you can keep in situ, and as you keep that screw in situ you can hang it up easily so you don't need to lose it, and the other one is this one which you do need to screw in properly because there's just a direct hole. And this is this particular toilet which I have no idea what the model is. Right, we're going in now. So that's in. Please work. We have a flushing toilet! Success. So, that's how to do it. You need to replace one of these and one of these, probably do them both. And that's only if all the other steps that I took didn't work. But when you begin to realise that this is the source of the problem, then you know what to replace. I will put shortly a link in showing you what I used for this particular toilet. Obviously it only works for this particular toilet. You've got to be confident that you've got one of these and one of those. So figure out if you've got one of these and one of these, and then if you have, then you've saved yourself a plumber call out plus materials. You're only paying for the materials and you can actually do it yourself. I did not know how to do that before, so thanks again to Nick who gave me the pointers and the courage to go and buy the stuff. So that cost about 16 quid in total. All the best with your toilets.